गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। नीलारविन्दसुहृदासदृशं प्रसादे तुल्यं तथा महसि तोयजबान्धवेन ब्राह्म्यां स्थितौ तु पितरं वटमूलवासं संसारयन्तम् अचलन्तमनुस्मरामः। We are in Bhakti Vichar on Bhakti, chapter 16 of Sri Ramana Gita, and we are looking at the 5th and 6th verse. We were looking at it, and there we saw that, what did it say, 5th and 6th? When the devotee, regarding himself as a supreme limited individual of poor understanding and desirous of deliverance from suffering, takes the omnipresent supreme reality to be some deity and worships it, even then he attains in the end that alone. See, there are two options, that how are we approaching the final consummation. And this mistake we are making every night also. We are seeking out sleep and therefore waking up ignorant every night, every morning. If instead of seeking out sleep every night and surrendering to nothingness, you seek out that supreme and allow the mind to sleep. So you have to program your mind during the waking. Then you will wake up realized. Meaning, there will be the mind will go through the sleep into the waking, but the awareness of the being, the awareness of your true form, that will always remain, because then you are not in the clutches of ignorance. Same way, in this waking, what is our disposition at the moment? Are we separate from the Lord? Are we one? Do we have a conviction that we are the self? Do we have the conviction that we were born? Are we afraid of death? Are we having this disposition that we are separate from the divine, separate from the self? Not even. Or are we intellectually at least convinced, with understanding we are convinced that the self that I am and the self that is actually is one and the same? That I am part of the Lord and Lord is part of me. It's essentially one and the same. Maybe it is not my experience at the moment, but let me pursue it. So what is the basic understanding with which you are beginning your journey? That will determine the result. So whether one begins with the premise of differences, that I am separate to the self, eventually he'll reach the self. And if someone's begin with the premise, intellectual conviction that self and I are one, I am essentially that which I am seeking, but I need to remove the distractions out of my mind. I need to become more focused. I need to surrender to the self that I already am. For that I need to contemplate on myself. Then again I will come to the same form. So both ways you are coming to the same destination. Both ways are leading to the same. Whether you know it or you don't know it, whether you give that true form of the self, which is a formless form, a form of the divine deity, it's okay. And in this manner, see, when we are taking if I get into a train, I come running to the railway station, and without checking here and there, I want to reach somewhere, or you are lost, you are coming, and you come into the station, get into the train, sit down, and station reaches Glen Waverley and stops. अरे यहीं पे तो मेरे को जाना था. ऐसे कैसे हो गया? I didn't realize. How did I? I didn't even buy the ticket. I just sat in the train. I can't even remember walking to the railway station. Can't remember. Doesn't it happen many times? How you reach your home from work, you're lost in your thoughts, and I can't even remember the traffic, how the half an hour passed so quickly. Same way, whether you know or you don't know, you still reach the destination, isn't it? You observed all the traffic, you observed all the lights. It was by default, it was happening, but you were not aware of it. Yet you reach the destination. Same way, whether you know this, whether you are convinced of the self or whether you are convinced of the divine form, it does not matter. You will still reach the destination. That is the understanding of our what do you call, our Ramana Maharishi ji. And in this way, it is the differences that I told you, the various stages, that are only during the practice. Once the consummation happens, it's all one and the same. The differences for the wave, that I am a wave and there is an ocean, it remains as long as it is identified with its form. Once it has recognized that it is the water, once it merges into the water, then there are no more differences left thereafter. Once you get absorbed in the sleep, there are no more differences available to you. Same way, if you get absorbed in the conscious silence, into the conscious absence, Chidakash, then there are no differences thereafter. When we come to the Lord, we have already told that when our attention, our love, our intensity, our devotion, our surrender towards the true form, towards the true form of the self, true form of the infinite, culminates into that. So that was, so first 3-4 verses, they are talking about the highest, the absolute form, which is the form of the self. And what is the form of the self? Now, the moment you say form of the self, don't start imagining head, tail, legs, hands. No. Self is by nature infinite, and that is its true form. It is Satchidanand Swarup, that is its true form. It's unborn, undying, self-knowing, self-existing, that is its true form. Then we came to the 5th and 6th Have we done the fifth and sixth verse? No. Which verse we were on? Fourth, isn't it?
So we have to do from fourth stopage.
So fourth only, okay. Ah. वहन्ति तैलधारावत् वहन्ति तैलधारावत् या प्रीति परमेश्वरे या प्रीति परमेश्वरे अनिच्छतोपि सा बुद्धिं स्वरूपं नयति ध्रुवम् टुगेदर वहन्ति तैलधारावत् या प्रीति परमेश्वरे अनिच्छतोपि सा बुद्धिं स्वरूपं नयति ध्रुवम्. The love which flows unbroken like a stream of oil towards the Supreme Lord leads the mind infallibly into pure being even without once desiring it. Now this is another point that he is raising. Who? Bhagwan Ramana Maharaj. What is that? Whether you desire the divine or you don't desire the divine, whether you are remembering the divine, so many people are chanting. How they are chanting? Their music system is chanting. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Every now and then, because you are listening continuously 24 hours, that mantra is going on your deck. Every now and then your mind also will start chanting it, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. But is that chanting? You have to ask yourself. You check yourself. Are you chanting because you are desiring Ram, or are you chanting just by default? It just got triggered. Why are you chanting it? So those who chant with a desire to merge into the divine, they attain that true form. Those who do not desire, like for example, when we were children, we were told to chant Om Bhurbhuva Swaha. We were not interested. We didn't know the meaning. Probably parents also did not know the meaning. Why do we do the puja? Why do we do the lamp? Why do we do the agarbatti afterwards? Why do we do Karpur Arti? Why do we go 3 times round ourselves, Pradakshina? They didn't have the answers. Oh, this is how our parents taught us. This is called devotion. Acha, devotion. We also did the same thing. Stupidly, everywhere. Nobody is conscious. You go to some pujas and you watch. Like a clockwork, they follow each step. There is no awareness. While they are doing that, अरे वो सब्जी का गैस बंद कर देना. See? So when we are kids, we are chanting the mantra, we are doing whatever parents were asking. But did we have devotion? No. Were we seeking Lord? No. Did we want to merge into Him? No. But all that, all those habits, even though we were not desiring, but we were doing it because in the name of duty, in the name of copycat, in the name of whatever. Someday, suddenly, that leads you to that ultimate destination. Eventually, it becomes a conscious chanting. It becomes a conscious desire. Before there was no desire, but chanting was going on. Now the chanting is going on and there is desire to merge also. It's a natural consequence. It's a natural consequence. So whether we know or we don't know, whether we know that this train is going to Glen Waverley or not, by mistake you sat on it. By mistake you went to a satsang. By mistake you came across a Mahatma. By mistake, without any desire, the words of the scriptures fell on our ear. Nisargadatta Maharaj went only once to a satsang. So many times his friend had asked him, but he never went. Only once. And it was enough. So in this manner, the love reaches its fulfillment in its consummation. When the desire culminates in its destination, when the intensity reaches at its peak, that's when the merging happens, that's when the culmination happens, that's when the surrender happens, that's when the one-ment happens. Of whom? The devotee and the devoted, the seeker and the self. So, therefore, you must have heard many masters saying that the devotee says, I'm not interested in chanting the name of the Lord. See, our very typical example, typical meaning very famous example, not typical, famous example is of the Ratnakar dacoit. He was a killer, he was a looter. And once he came in the presence of Narad Muni, he wanted to steal the veena from Narad Muni. He did not know who Narad Muni is. He did not know Narad Muni is divine. He did not know Narad Muni's powers and capabilities. And yet, as the story goes, when he came to know, he didn't come to know, but he allowed himself to be directed by Narad Muni, and he came to realize that no one in the family is for him. Nobody is ready to share the sin that is committed. Suddenly the penny drops for him, and he comes back. I thought I was doing it for my family, but they all want the loot, but they don't want to take any share the sins that I have committed. So now suddenly, in one moment, dispassion towards the family. He said, tell me, how do I atone my sins? How do I correct myself? Because I know my family is not for me. And I thought I was doing it for my family in the name of duty. And they kept rubbing it into me. It is your duty to do it. It is your duty to take care of us. It is your duty to put food on the table. It is your duty to buy us good clothes and ornaments. And in the name of duty, I was doing it. But is it not their duty to share? If we are one family and I am ready to do it, is it not their duty also to share in the joys and sorrows, or the merits and demerits that we have accrued as a family? No, they straight away said, it is your problem, not ours. I am not going to go to hell for that, for the sins you have committed. You handle it yourself. The wife said so, the children said so, and suddenly that Ratnakar came back to Naradji. He says, what do I do now? I know. He says, take the name of the Lord. He says, I can't take the name. I have done too many bad things. I'll feel so guilty. And that's how grace flows. He says, I know only how to kill. Mara, Mara, Mara. Okay, you chant Mara. Mara, Mara, Mara. That Mara became Ram. And from that killer, Ratnakar, after intense tapasya, the Valmiki was born. Born means in that life only, Valmiki came about. See? So was he seeking to merge in the Lord? No. He was guilty. He was only wanted to atone his sins. He only wanted to purify. He was not looking for merging into the divine. But what was the result? The same as one who wants to merge in divine. He became a great Rishi, Rishi Valmiki. So, point here that Ramana Maharshi is making is whether you pursue the self with desire or you pursue the self without desire to merge. But the result will be the same. The result will be the same. And in this manner, Anichchatopi sa buddhim swarupam nayati dhruvam, and leads the mind infallibly into pure being even without once desiring it. Many times doesn't it happen to us? Now watch all these examples that we are taking, and I'm trying to relate it to our daily life. Is it not true that we don't want to sleep and yet sometimes sitting on the sofa we go to sleep? Did you desire sleep? No. You are watching movie or you are studying or you are doing your work and sleep comes. You are not desiring it, but it came. So there are many masters who did not desire it. Did that small child know, Maluk Das ji, that when he is given the slate and the chalk, he is going to write the shlokas on the Barakhadi? No. It happened. So at this moment you are listening. Are you listening with a view to merge into the self? Or are you listening, चलो यार अच्छा टाइम पास हो रहा है, free entertainment, whole day will be busy. Why? But what did you understand? थोड़ा बहुत समझ आ गया, but anyway it must be something good. सत्संग चल रही है, it is good. What did you understand? I don't know. I don't know. It will make an impact. It will inculcate a desire to know more by repeated exposure to satsang, even though you don't know what is going on. Again and again exposure, a time will come by grace. Association brings about what? Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. Whenever we think about something, Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, whenever we think about something, whenever we associate with something again and again, desire for it arises. Our first step is attachment to it happens, and then whatever you are attached to, desire happens. That is the sequence. So knowingly or unknowingly we have been exposed to satsang. We don't know what is going on in the satsang. चलो देखते हैं क्या है. When I was a kid, I never knew Hanuman Chalisa, but in one colony where we were staying, there in the corner there was a temple, Devi temple with Hanumanji and Vishnu and all that. Small place, half of this room. We used to go for prasad, not for God. वो बूंदी का प्रसाद मिलता है, वो so tasty. So at the right time, we used to be there. Tali Bajali, can't remember. We don't know the words of Hanuman Chalisa, but hand is out at the end of Hanuman Chalisa. We are waiting for Hanuman Chalisa to finish quickly. And now, Hanuman Chalisa every day is in the mouth, in the mind. The devotion towards Hanumanji. We loved Hanumanji, is a monkey god and this and that. But the depth to which we know him now, his nature, his love for his Lord, all that came about, no? But it began somewhere. It did not begin because we were desiring to know Hanumanji. We are desiring prasad. We are not desiring the chanting. We wanted to finish quickly. Same way, if we are here just by default in the satsang because something good is taking place, it will help. And then eventually it leads to repetition. That repetition leads to desire. And that desire leads to consummation. See, again it comes to the same thing. If a person is contemplating and meditating and in samadhi, and another person is fully involved in the world, not even thinking about samadhi, but his attitude is, I must do what comes to me. I have to, if life is presenting certain situations, I have to handle them to the best of my ability without expecting anything. As long as he keeps doing this, automatically the next stage will come. Because that attitude that I have to do what is coming to me without expectation is karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. And if he is doing it properly, if that is his attitude, he will automatically be pushed into the next stage of evolution. And the next stage and the next stage. That's how Bhagavad Gita is unfolding itself. See? So whether one desires it or he doesn't desire it, the mind will eventually take you to that destination. Continuing, 5th and 6th together. Parichinnam yadatmanam swalpagnyam chapi manyate bhakto vishayi rupena tada klesha nivruttaye Parichinnam yadatmanam swalpagnyam chapi manyate bhakto vishayi rupena tada klesha nivruttaye vyapakam paramam vastu bhajate devata dhiya bhajanscha devata buddhya tadevante samashnute vyapakam paramam vastu bhajate devata dhiya bhajanscha devata buddhya tadevante samashnute. When the devotee regarding himself as separate, limited individual of poor understanding and desirous of deliverance from suffering takes the omnipresent supreme reality to be some deity and worships it, even then he attains in the end that alone. Now, a second. The first stage was that in the beginning of the bhakti, it was taken from the best, the Uttam Adhikari. His Shamadama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan are fully matured in him. He is focused on the self. He is seeking his true form. And that it was told that even if he is not seeking his true form, but he is on that he is only purifying his mind, still he will reach the same destination. But now, so that person who was being talked about was introvert, was collected, was was not distracted by anything in the world. But now whom we are talking about is a person, Madhyam Adhikari. And who is this Madhyam Adhikari? Who is giving validity to the world, who is giving validity to the sufferings, who is being persecuted by the sufferings and miseries, and wants a solution and be free from should I say it is Madhyam Adhikari or it is Madhyam or Adham Adhikari? Adham Adhikari. Poor understanding. And desirous of deliverance. Parichinnam yadatmanam swalpagnyam chapi manyate. Who is this swalpagnyam? Who is this moodha? Who is this dull-witted one who considers the Atma to be the other? Understand? Parichinnam yad atmanam. He is taking the other to be the self. My entire being is to be a mother, or to be a wife, or to be a husband, or to be a son. So your identity, isn't it true? If someone asks you, who are you? You will give your introduction with reference to something. I am the son of so and so, I am the husband or wife of so and so, I am the mother of so and so, I am this, I am working as doctor or engineer or IT, or I am unemployed. And then I was born in this part of the country, I speak that language, this is my background, and more. It will go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But it's all with reference to something. So we believe such a person of dull-witted person believes, has faith in his existence only because there is the other. Now, this is a very big one. Find out, are you in that disposition that your state of being, your existence, what you consider yourself to be, is only because of the other? Are you going to scatter mentally if your partner goes away? Are you going to scatter mentally if the children go away? Are you going to scatter completely and lose the plot if the parents no longer are there? See? Are you going to, are you afraid? You don't mind killing a mosquito, you don't mind killing a spider, you don't mind killing a lizard. You can walk over the earthworms in the garden and you don't feel anything. But that harmless earthworm comes wriggling and sits on your body, touching your skin, you jump up like anything. If the bee comes and stings you, or the mosquito stings you, immediately self-survival. Ah, what is that? See? So what is our identity? You have to assess. We can only share. Scriptures are there so that we come to our correct identity. Masters come into our life only to push us, to help us, to make us, to guide us, to come to our correct identity. So what is your correct identity? Are you considering that you are, on account of children, husband, wife, etc., body, mind, intellect, breath, senses? If you say yes, then you come under this category of verse 5 and 6. If you don't say anything, then also you fall into that. See? So when the devotee, when we all go to the temple, we all go to Tirth Yatras, pilgrimages, when we go to church, when we go to masters, when we go to... See, so many people are running for yoga. Just yesterday only someone's call came. Swamiji, I am doing this Morarji Desai Institute of Yoga. I am doing a 1-year course. And what do you want to do after that? Oh, I will teach yoga. And then what about your job? I resigned from the job and I took up a part-time job so that I could complete this course. After that, what you will do? She wants to use yoga as a source of income. 2-3 years ago, she had shared this, that I want to do this. I said, there are so many, you ask me, I'll tell you. And so it's okay, she has done. And that time I warned, don't do the yoga as a source of income. Do it for your self-unfoldment. So what can yoga deliver? And what are they using it for? Chalo, there I durust hai. Maybe somewhere the grace will click. Like our, this Swamiji was there. What was his name? Swami Satyananda. In Melbourne and Sydney, they have the branches, Swami Satyananda Ashram. Now they are closed, I think, because of some inquiry into their ashram in Sydney. But in Melbourne and Daylesford, there is one still. But that Swami Satyananda, he was a disciple of Swami Shivananda. And his main center was Australia. And he spread, he did courses, he used to come regularly, and the Bihar School of Yoga, you have heard of that Bihar School of Yoga. He started that. And after living well for 50 years, for 20, 30, 40 years, he spread the yoga everywhere. And eventually, when he was about 65, 70 years old, this is what I have heard, and when he was 65, 70, he said, all this is too much. I'm taking sannyas from all this. And what did he do? Went 12 kilometers away from the Bihar School of Yoga, where his ashram was, went into the jungle, built a small hut, stayed there. For 7 years he did the Panch Agni Tapasya, chanting the name, became a devotee of Lord Ram. But still, I have to do something. So first it was spread of the yoga. Now it is, I have to still do, so Pancha Yagni Tapas. I have to, titiksha. Sun on the top and 4 fires around you for 7 hours a day. I don't know how long he did that. See? And then eventually must have, so that was he did not spread yoga because he wanted to merge in the self. He started doing Panchagni Tapas because he wanted to evolve further. He wanted to merge into the divine. He started chanting the name of the Lord, but his actions were totally contrary to the merging. And yet eventually, yes, it took his whole lifetime, but eventually it did take him there. Isn't it? It did take him there. Namdev Maharaj, he used to take the name of the Lord. He was a devotee of the Lord. He used to take the name of the Lord. Ramakrishna Paramahansa also used to take the name of the mother. Kali Mata was her deity and his deity, and she had taken a place in his mind. Completely taken over. Everywhere he'll see only Kali Mata. Namdev ji also the same. But he did not, that devotion that he had invoked, the name of the Lord that he had started taking. He was such a beautiful composer and thrilling bhajans, abhangs. But did the consummation take? No. Then what was he doing with the focus that he had, the love that he had for the Lord? What was he using the Lord for? For solving problems of other people. Not his own. That much is, but he's using it to solve the problems of other people. So what does that show you? That the Bahir Drishti, the acceptance of the otherness is still prevalent. The transformation only came when he came across Jnaneshwar Maharaj, Gora Kumbhar, and then Gora Kumbhar then directs him. And then eventually, I told you the story of when he goes to the temple and he sees one sadhu keeping the feet on the shivling. That's when it all... because he has already... He was not seeking that. He was only seeking... he was ecstatic about, he was enjoying the chaska of thinking about Lord. He never thought of merging into him. And yet it took him to that point. Maybe in this lifetime, maybe next. Maybe after many, depending upon how available we are. So here he says, when the devotee regarding himself as separate. So remember the 4 stages. Lord and I are separate. The Lord is mine. 3rd stage, I am Lord's. And 4th stage, no difference between the two. So we talked about the no difference between the two is the result, is the happening, is the surrender, is the culmination. Depends. Someone can start straight away from the 3rd stage. Someone can start from the 2nd stage. and some start from the first stage. That me and Lord are two. And if you say you both are one and he is in your heart and you are in him, oh, papam, papam, papam. They cannot even imagine that. They don't even want to hear that. And thus, here in this case, in the 5th and 6th verse, Parichinnam means limited. Parichinnam means conditioned. Parichinnam means even though you are of the nature of infinitude, but you are accepted the conditionings of limitation, conditioning of the body, the conditioning that I am only this form, and your true form is the formless form, and you are totally convinced that you are this form. This is alpagnyam manyate. What manyate? Atmanam parichinnam. That this body I am. Body I am. And people fall further. And what is the further fall? Father I am, mother I am. That is further fall. That is virtual. This is illusory. The body is illusory, and attachment to illusory leads to virtual imagination. Bhakto vishayi rupena tada klesha nivruttaye. So, because he is so object oriented, and therefore his devotion is only for the cessation of all miseries. Only for the cessation of miseries. You know, today I was listening to one bhajan by Jagjit Singh. मेरे अंतर मन में ओ ज्योतिर्मय उतरो. मेरे अंतर मन में और मेरे अंधकार वाले मन में, ऐसी कुछ है, मेरे को वर्डिंग्स याद नहीं है. ज्योतिर्मय उतरो. Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma. So, whoever wrote that has presupposed that I am dark from inside, that I am a papi from within, that I am afflicted from outside and within. And where are the afflictions coming from? They are coming from the world, they are coming from the gods, they are coming from within, our memories, our regrets, our shortcomings. Threefold. Adi bhautik, adi daivik, adhyatmik. Tapa. Miseries. And continuously, in Melbourne also, so many are doing the pujas and havans. What are they doing it for? Let there be sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu nirama. It must be done also. But come on, not whole life, man. Move on. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. So where is your attention? On the loka, on the people, on the society, on the community, on the country, on the universe. Your attention is not on the self. So if we call ourselves a devotee and we are continuously thinking of loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, then our devotion, our interaction with the divine theme, our interaction with the deity is only for finding solutions in the world, for the world's misery. And in that world, this body is also included. This mind is also included. Many people say, I do yoga and it gives me lot of peace. It gives me lot of joy. But I can't do it too long. The silence is deafening. For little bit time it's okay. So is meditation for a gutki, triphala for peace? Or is meditation or yoga or japa or whatever sadhana you're doing, it is for bringing about peace? It is for removal of dukkha, misery, afflictions, or is it for consummation? Is it for realization? Is a cow, you keep cow in the house for milk or for gobar? Gobar is byproduct. Nobody keeps a cow for cow dung. You keep the cow for cow's milk. Cow dung is bonus. That comes without asking. But nobody buys a cow because they want a cow dung. They want cow dung. So what are we taking the name of the Lord for? We want cow dung. We don't want the milk. We don't want the nectar. We don't want the merging. We don't want the consummation. See how we are. Such people are called dull-witted. But at least they have started, so nothing wrong. It will eventually take them to the right destination. Our limitations are our notions, our convictions, our ability, our capacity, our ability to focus, our knowledge. See? So depending on all these limitations, so will be your approach, so will be your practice. How did Namdev Maharaj become realized? In an instant. Suddenly it always happening. You don't go to sleep slowly. What you call slowly is you are still in the waking plane. You are not gone to sleep. And when sleep really absorbs you, then there is no more waking, there are no more thoughts in the mind. When surrender happens, then thereafter there is no world. There is no relations, there is no possessions, there is no body. Then there is only the divine. And that is the true form of the self. जरा सोचिए. And such a person, because this fellow we are talking about, Alpagnyam, because he cannot see the self, cannot hear the self, cannot know the self, cannot catch the self. So he chooses a deity, he chooses a form, and his form will be directly proportional to his capacity, his knowledge, what we just mentioned before, his focus, his surrender, his understanding, all those things put together. And therefore, some people are attracted to some Narayana, some are attracted to Krishna, some are attracted to Buddha, some are attracted to Kartikeya, some are attracted to Devi, depending upon their makeup. But they are unable to see that all these gods are expressions of the one. All the waves are expressions of the one water or the one ocean. That all these gods are also nothing, all the deities are also nothing but the expression of that one. No, that is too much. It's going into abstract. Who is that one? Which one? Usko bhi naam de diya, Narayana. ईश्वर, उसको भी नाम दे दिया, परम शिवा, डिपेंडिंग विच पाथ यू आर फॉलोइंग. नाम देके नहीं, नाम देना है, वी हैव टू कॉल नेम्स, but we are not ready to be subjective. So, because we don't know what is subjective, we have not been exposed to it, we are not even aware of it. We know we are alive, and someone says, Bhagwan, you are not other than God. Acha, I am a soul. Still, some people question, Hamiji, are we the soul? What is the soul? जूते के नीचे जो लगता है वो है घिसने के लिए. Sole of a shoe, only to be worn out. Isn't our body getting worn out? Isn't our mind getting tired of holding on to everything? It's getting worn out. So we have to, so such a person, so he replaces the self, because he cannot think, he cannot talk, he cannot understand, he cannot comprehend what is self. So he say, अच्छा self क्या है? Divine. अच्छा that divine, पर वो तो भगवान है. अच्छा तुम भगवान का नाम, my self is Bhagwan, because he can't come to that, he can't see his own true form, so he superimposes it on a particular deity of his own making. The form that he has given to him is out of his own mind, and he starts relating to it. And once he starts relating and he starts thinking that it is greater than him, then he is afraid of it also. And he thinks that deity is more powerful than him. But it's okay. Ramana Maharshi is saying it's okay. That if that is how you begin, it's okay. Begin. Eventually, when all his problems are over, and as he is thinking about the Lord again and again, naturally he will get attracted that who is this Lord? What is this Lord? Where is this Lord? I want to merge into Lord. This will automatically happen in that fellow. Nothing wrong. It's better than not taking his name. It is better than not being devoted to something, to the divine. Let that divine be. And remember what our scriptures say, Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava, Guru Devo Bhava. So that is the expansion. By the time you reach expansion, the teacher teaches you to accept, have the vision that everyone who is coming in your in touch with you is divine alone, is divinity alone. That transformation of vision has to come about. But how did he begin? That child, ignorant, dull-witted, no intelligence. We all started like that only. Today we are giving lectures, we are understanding. What we are understanding? We are understanding that which cannot be understood. We are intelligent, no? Kenopanishad said, trying to understand that which cannot be understood. We are intelligent. But we were all born stupid. All born without any, without the invocation of the intellect. It took time. And still it is only expanding. But it can come to its culmination if it is given the right direction. It's better to have for this intellect, for this individual, for this dull-witted person, Buddhu, what? Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudamate. better to be oriented towards some divine theme rather than no theme. So one who's doing karma, how do we tell him? Oh, do the karma for the Lord. Purification will happen. If you are doing karma for yourself, ego will increase. Individuality will concretize, crystallize. So how to melt it? Do it. Do the karma. Don't stop. Whatever you are doing, but do it for the Lord. Don't get disturbed by the results. Don't like or dislike the results. Then what? Take it as the prasad because you did it for the Lord. Whatever the result is also given by Him. So take it as prasad. Acha, lived like this for some time. Very quickly purification happens in the mind. Purification of the mind means expanded mind. Expanded mind means it is available to something higher automatically. Now, who is this fellow for whom I was doing and for who is giving me prasad? Only once the question comes and your orientation changes. Then you start, then knowledge automatically, the right teachers come, the right books come, everything starts happening. But you didn't begin that way. So here in the 6th verse, he says, even then he attains in the end, tada evante samashnute, that even then such a person eventually gets consumed into the divine realm. I don't want to use the word realm, it's coming by default, into the divine, which is none other than the self. Eventually it will happen. We'll stop here and we'll take it from the 7th verse in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sit in quietly for a few minutes, for a moment.